I'm William Pike Ongaba. I'm a coffee farmer in Omoro district. This is Ongako sub-county. The parish is called Olabo and the village is called Oluba. I'm a farmer with about 10 acres of coffee, and basically we are growing here Robusta coffee. Robusta is recommended for our area because this is low altitude. It ranges from 900 to 1,200 meters above sea level, which is recommended for Arabica, for Robusta. So Arabica coffee is not recommended for mid-northern Uganda. So we have been advised to grow Robusta. That is why we are engaged in Robusta. I've been in this activity for over 10 years now. The colonial attitude did not prepare us to grow coffee in mid-northern Uganda, but until His Excellency the President of Uganda explored and said, let's try coffee in mid-northern Uganda, and it was tried with some few farmers since 1997, and success stories came up, and a number of farmers started joining production of coffee. And as we speak now, coffee is one of the commercial crops in northern Uganda. Well, the interventions of promoting coffee production in northern Uganda embraced a number of stakeholders. Likewise, there was OWC, there was a NADS, there was a Uganda Coffee Development Authority, but basically OWC came in and pushed a lot of effort, and we've ended up with a number of farmers joining the production of coffee. The seasonality is a bit of a challenge, because we have a bit of drought from November to close to about end of March, which basically affect our production because coffee generally flowers around that time. It flowers around January, February, when the area is so dry. And we are getting a lot of challenges with that dry period, which leads to a lot of flower abortion. However, the farmers are also adopting irrigation. And government intervention, like in the micro-scale irrigation project, farmers are trying to pick up to do cost sharing to support the flowering period, which is always dry. My success story that made me to break through, we've been working with the farmers, because I personally also am an agricultural officer, and we had the opportunity of visiting coffee growing areas. Like in central and southwestern Uganda, we've been seeing farmers succeeding, though it requires a lot of effort. So that one also challenged me to come and also put the practice, so that I also walk the talk. I also wanted to show my fellow farmers that if you work hard, you can succeed in coffee production. And I want to tell you that out of all the crops we grow in northern Uganda, currently, I've rated coffee as one of the high-valued crop that can give us a lot of money. And past this season, this other previous season, farmers were able to get a lot of money in coffee because we were able to sell our chiboko at 8,000 shillings a kilo. It is still unfortunate that we still don't have hulling machines around, but very soon, hopefully, because the number of farmers are really increasing, we think with the time we are going to get hulling machine that we can add value to our coffee, and we now start selling what we call FAQ, which will fetch quite some money. The President's gospel of wealth creation is real, because what I've seen, when we are not yet got in production of coffee, we were still working with these annual crops. That cannot really push you through out of your poverty. But when I ended up producing coffee, I became a coffee farmer, I'm now a person who talks of millions of shillings every season, which I cannot get in these annual crops. So the President's gospel of wealth creation is real because he has opened our eyes. He has made us to see that coffee is one of the crops that can get we in mid-northern Uganda out of poverty. And production of coffee is demanding. First of all, it's labor intensive. You need to attend to your crop. You need to manage the plantation in terms of controlling weeds. You need also to manage the pest, like the twig borer. You also need to manage the suckers, the outgrowth that keeps coming. So farmers have to be engaged in their farms throughout to see that they succeed. And managing an acre of coffee in a year, you are probably going to spend at least 2.5 million shillings or even 3 million. But when you manage it well, you don't get less than 12 million shillings from that acre. Seedlings sometimes come late, as farmers always say, But also from our part as farmers, our preparations also sometimes is not good, because like when you want to engage in coffee production, you need to prepare in time. You need to do your planting holes much earlier. The planting holes could take minimum of 3 months when you've dug before planting. So most of the farmers still wants to get the seedling, then they start doing the holes. That one now, when you get the seedlings and start doing the holes, you will take the blame that the seedlings came late. But the seedlings sometimes come in time, but find we as farmers, we are not prepared to plant. PDM is also doing a lot of effort in the community, because farmers have access to resources, though it is 1 million shillings, but when the 1 million shillings is used properly, can generate a lot of income. But I want to tell you that farmers are accessing the money and people are willing to pick the money. As we speak now, lots of farmers have already got money from PDM, and it has changed their life, and is also changing their life as we see. Well, I would appreciate so much General Saleh for supporting us, because when we are wealthy, all of us becomes happy. So he's trying to put a lot of effort to create wealth in mid-northern Uganda. And farmers are accessing these resources, and we want to thank him so much for the effort he's doing to create wealth in the mid-north. I want to urge all Ugandans who have land and have ability to grow coffee. This is a crop that we need to get into. This is a crop that has stood test of time. It started in the early 20s in this country, and it has continued to be a commercial crop. And the market globally is second to petroleum or oil. So farmers should rest assured there will be no disappointment in growing coffee. For me, I've been in it and I will always be in it. I want to encourage people who have land, people who can access planting material, to get information about growing coffee, and all of us should grow coffee. The market is so huge and is waiting for our coffee in Uganda. Uganda basically grow both Arabica and Robusta coffee. And mid-northern Uganda, we are going to be the basket, the Robusta coffee basket of this country. What I've seen, the opportunity is so huge. Even you people who are watching over TV, you can observe this coffee. This coffee has not been benefiting from any fertilizer. This coffee was stamped in 2023. It's basically about 2 years old. But you can see it has now bared, and come this end of year, we shall be harvesting very good quality coffee beans from this plantation. Basically, for us, we engage in coffee production. We are still selling our coffee as Chiboko. Our farmers are so careful in managing the plantation. Our farmers harvest coffee which are red ripe. They listen to extension advice. Our farmers dry their coffee not on the ground, but they dry on tarpaulins. And when they dry the coffee, they store it very well. They don't, again, put it in places where it can get wet. And farmers' coffee has very good market. These middlemen who come to buy coffee in our area always appreciate the way we manage our coffee. Value addition has ever been a challenge. For us, in the value chain, we still stop at Chiboko level, which is so rudimentary. We want to encourage government to deliberately initiate the establishment of a coffee hala in mid-northern Uganda, because it will be a push factor. When these farmers, instead of selling your Chiboko at 8,000, when you add value to it, when you remove the husk, you start earning about 15,000 plus a kilo of FAQ. This will encourage more farmers to grow coffee. As I speak now, the season that passed offered a very good price, and every person is running around willing to grow coffee. I want to assure Ugandans that coffee farmers are going to come up in mid-northern Uganda, and it will be unbelievable in the next 3 or 4 years. The issue of land is not a big problem. The problem is, how are we going to use the land? The land is available. Land holdings in northern Uganda is still the largest in the country. And we are very sure that if farmers know how to get value out of their land, the land will be utilized, and as Ugandans, we shall generate foreign exchange from this land in mid-northern Uganda. My last message to Ugandans is to encourage farmers to grow coffee. We want to thank His Excellency, the President of Uganda, so much for opening our eyes. Coffee was introduced in this country long time ago. It was already a commercial crop by the year 1929. But in northern Uganda, we started knowing about coffee in 1997, when the President of Uganda initiated this program that coffee can grow in mid-northern Uganda. We had already been fixed in this attitude of the colonialists who said that coffee cannot grow in mid-northern Uganda. Mid-northern Uganda is a desert, and we were stuck to these commercial crops of tobacco and cotton, which cannot move us anywhere. But coffee, an acre of coffee can do you wonders, but an acre of cotton can do you disaster. An acre of tobacco can do you disaster.
I'm Brigadier General Retired Francis Achoka Ongom, the Regional Coordinator for Operation Wealth Creation, Acholi Region. Operation Wealth Creation has been initiated or is a brainchild of His Excellency the President of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in uplifting the people who are not in the money economy into the money economy and creating wealth in the country. Operation Wealth Creation began effectively in 2013 when the President piloted the program in the Luero area, and we are lucky that in Acholi he had picked two great areas, Awere and Atiak. Atiak is in Amoro district and Awere is in Omoro. And we started by giving out inputs to farmers so that they are able to produce fast to achieve food security, and then two, to also economically be able to meet their basic needs. But above all is to create wealth. Operation Wealth Creation was received first with some apprehension, because at that time there was bad politics going around. Our opponents who did not understand the President's message thought that the President would be able to become popular in the population and will be very difficult to remove when we go to the ballot papers. Number two, some of them also bankruptly thought that if people are poor, they will turn against government, and as such would create a forum for opposition. But many people realize that the President's message was non-discriminatory. In Operation Wealth Creation, we targeted people without minding about anybody's political inclination, religious inclination. All that we looked for is that you are a Ugandan. And it was well received because people who have utilized the inputs very well. This is an operation other than war, which is an operation to actually get people out of poverty. The message was well delivered to the population, and it has become an household. Operation Wealth Creation is a household name in northern Uganda. Actually, to people up to today, they think Operation Wealth Creation should be the medium for distributing resources. One thing the President thought of was the army versatility, because the army always receive and implement orders. Number two, they are very good in logistic distribution, and the army can work with a lot of sacrifice. They didn't need money because the little salary they were not receiving. And these were selected officers who knew the mission of the appointing authority. And this was to fight poverty. And they implemented it to the letter. Through colonial times, the colonialists had demarcated areas for their economic interests. The West and Central Uganda were for plantation crops like tea and coffee. The North had the monopoly of tobacco and cotton. And these were to feed the industries of the colonial masters by that time, of tobacco, cigarettes, and also for cotton, those industries in Liverpool, Stafford, and wherever they needed to sell the raw cottons. But our president, our dear president, through research, utilizing Nakori, especially Kitusa scientists, he did some research in the North, and it was discovered that the North is actually suitable for growing coffee, especially Robusta coffee, which is suitable for lowland areas, because Arabica is suitable for the Renzoris, the Elgons, and to a little extent here in Acholi, Lututuru, in Agoro, where Uganda Prisons Service is producing Arabica up there. General Caleb Akanda now, whom is known as Salim Saleh, first is a hero of liberation. Not only liberation against physical oppression by, I would say, the outlaws, he is also a liberator economically. He is also a philanthropist. In his wisdom, when he was stationed here in the North, he founded the Salim Saleh Foundation for Humanity, through which he advocated for commercial agriculture. To him, his vision was to see this region getting out of poverty and adopting progress, economic progress, other than thinking about war. He looked at the war with another eye, that maybe part of the reason why there was war in the North was because of the abject poverty. And he walked the talk. Today is still promoting food and seed security, which is a program which gives out seeds on loan to the people, because you know now Operation Wealth Creation, according to His Excellencies, the President's wisdom and directive. After several complaints, one of which you have mentioned, that Operation Wealth Creation was the one distributing seeds, and yet procurement was done by NADS and Ministry of Agriculture. Operation Wealth Creation's work was only distribution. It's like seeing a picture on the screen, and then the person watching the screen doesn't know who is the producer. So this was the misfortune Operation Wealth Creation faced. But as of now, with clear direction from General Salim Saleh and His Excellency the President, we have been able to turn around the situation. Everybody now is yearning for coffee seedlings. And in his sympathy and wisdom, magnanimity, the President is offering a one-off free seedlings to the farmers who are ready. And with MIVE, we are doing data collection. We look at farmers that are ready, and soon they'll be getting seeds. Fortunately, while we are giving out seedlings, we also give out shade, because coffee, in its best agronomic practice, is a shade tree. It grows under trees or shades. And these shades must be friendly. If it is trees, it should be albizia. If it is food crops, we can grow it with banana. While you are waiting for your coffee, you are able to harvest your banana. We were also able to give out soya, because under coffee you can still grow soya and other legumes. And while you are waiting for your coffee harvest, you'll be making money from your banana, you'll be making money from your soya, other legumes like beans and cowpeas. Markets now need quality produce so that you can compete internationally. And in this regard, I'm quite happy that our coffee internationally has got a niche, or it is one of the best. This is what the importance of value addition. You capture the market, and the demand continues to grow. You produce on demand. Again, markets are very sensitive. It is always very, very important to maintain high quality. And this high quality, we are also happy that our scientists in the Ministry of Agriculture, particularly Nakori, have been able to excel nationally, internationally, and we are an envy of many other countries. My appeal to the farmers, to the population, the entire Ugandan population, the economy that can stand the best the test of time is an integrated, vibrant economy. What we should embark on as a nation is to see that it is only production that can add to our economic progress. Consumption is actually detrimental to our economy. Our balance of trade is measured in terms of production. What we sell out is not what we import. If you import more than what you sell, you're bound to collapse economically.
I'm by name's Jani Winfred Oyela. I'm the agricultural officer with the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Coffee Department. I'm in charge of Gulu and Moro sub-region based at Gulu Regional Office. Coffee as a cash crop, it has numerous benefits and socio-economic benefits. One, coffee is a commodity agricultural commodity that is traded globally. It is second to oil. That is at global perspective. At African level, I mean, Uganda is the second producer of coffee in Africa after Ethiopia. Then globally as well, Uganda is seventh in exports, in terms of exports. And in terms of foreign exchange earnings to the country, we receive about 18% of the income that comes to the country, and that incomes can benefit all the coffee value chain actors from nurseries up to cup. So those are some of the benefits at global and African level. But when you come to the stakeholders or the value chain actors, like the farmers, the roasters, the processors, there are numerous benefits. Coffee benefits up to 1.7 million people in Uganda and employs up to about 5 million Ugandans in the various coffee value chain levels. And in terms of other benefits, coffee is one of the perennial crops that can last for over 50 years, 50 to 60 years. That means it is one of the most sustainable cash crop we have in Uganda. And once you plant it, you're good to go. You are sure of your pension. Actually, it is a pensionable crop. You are sure of your pension, whether you have been a working class or not. At least you have something to rely on at your old age. Another aspect of coffee, benefits of coffee, is that coffee is a crop, is a tree crop. And assuming the Ugandans, for example, Mid-North, if we all went to coffee production, our microclimate will change because coffee is a tree crop. It modifies the microclimate in our area. That means we shall be receiving lots of rains and everything will strive very well. Another aspect of coffee which is beneficial to us is that coffee is a crop that encourages mixed cropping, intercropping with a range of crops, both trees, annual crops, and others, fruit crops. For example, coffee can be grown with bananas. Nowadays, mid-northern Uganda, we have gone into production of matoke or bananas, and people are now enjoying both in terms of food security and also income, because they are able to sell the banana bunches to the market, and they can also sell the suckers to the farmers, and they receive lots of money from a coffee farm. And you can also plant coffee with fruit trees like avocado, fene. You can plant them at the edges, and it acts both as fruit crops and also windbreaks for the coffee. Since coffee yields a lot, there is need for a windbreak. So if you use like fruits like jackfruit, you can be receiving money from coffee, jackfruits, and also selling and getting income from a number of the fruits. Every time we go to meet farming communities, we tell them the kind of fruits they should grow in the coffee so that it can improve their nutrition, income, and also other benefits. Then another aspect of coffee is that coffee can help in land conflicts. Since it is a perennial crop that lasts for over 50 to 60 years, there is no the issue of land disputes among neighbors is limited, because you can't come and just start cutting my coffee claiming that your boundary was the other side and yet had planted the coffee some years back. So the issue of conflicts, land conflicts in northern Uganda is very rampant because we had been dealing in annual crops. But when you go into coffee, the issue of land conflicts will be resolved. I would like to first of all appreciate the government of Uganda for popularizing coffee, not only in the traditional areas, but also in the non-traditional areas, like northern Uganda. Nowadays, we even have coffee in Karamoja sub-region. And if you compare the soils in the Karamoja sub-region with the northern region, there is a big difference. But if you visit these sites, you'll find that coffee is thriving very well. So that has been the initiative of the government of Uganda for popularizing coffee in all parts of Uganda so that we can use it for poverty reduction. Secondly, I would like to also appreciate the early adopters, like my brother, William Pike, was been in the system. He has been growing coffee for the last 15 years for showing people that coffee works in the mid-north. And because of the few people like them, people have seen that coffee really works. And because they are seeing the benefits and they are seeing how the coffee is performing. So I would like to urge the farming communities in the mid-northern Uganda, Acholi sub-region and Uganda as a whole, that we should take coffee as a very important crop for Uganda. And the beauty is that Uganda is also considered a center of excellence for Robusta coffee, for areas that grows Robusta coffee. And also our Arabica, also the quality is very good. The demand is overwhelming outside there at the global arena. So we urge everybody to join this program so that we can get out of poverty through coffee production. Thank you.
As the regional coordinator operation, wealth creation, who is an emissary, representative to my chief coordinator, General Saleh, in the Acholi region. My regional office is based in Gulu City. I work together with the Minister for Northern Uganda Rehabilitation, the district local governments, and our partners and all other stakeholders in the fight against eliminating poverty and getting our people into a middle and first-class economy. Our offices is OWC, Acholi region, and my telephone number is 0772 655 740 for easy contact. And my telephone is on 24/7 for God and my country.